Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In this video, guys, I'm going to talk about a few topics, and as you can see, I've already write down the topics. So in this video, guys, I'm going to talk about why you need to invest your money, where to invest your money, and how to grow your capital. Okay, guys, before we are starting with anything, we need to ask ourselves why we are doing something, right? Okay. And before we are going to invest our money or to look for potential gains, we need to have a clear why. Okay. So, why do we need to invest our money? Guys, look around you. If you go to the supermarket, for example, and you're going to take a tomato or meat, and for sure, if you're gonna compare the current price with the previous price of 5 years ago, you will notice that the price increased. What I remember is that a kilo of chicken in the Netherlands was like €7, and now it's around 14, 15 euro, right? Also with fruit, also with a lot of other things. So also with cars, also with rent. So whatever, guys, we know that the price is increasing over time, right? So we call it inflation. There's inflation going on. Every year, there's like 10%, maybe even more inflation. I'm living in the Netherlands, and um, if you compare the inflation with Turkey, for example, in Turkey it's way more because the lira is losing value. But whatever, we are talking about the dollar and the euro now. Okay, so there's an inflation. Every year there's like plus minus 20% inflation, right? So if you're gonna compound that for 4 times, for example, something that's $100 is will be $120. $120 will be 144, right? And if you're gonna do this for a few times, like 3 to 4 times, end of the road, it will double in price. That $100, the cost price, will end up with $200. So the amount of money you have at this moment, like $100, it's not the same because everything is cost is higher, right? So this is a little example. Okay. So how do we know that the money there is like inflation, right? Look, I have here a chart of the amount of the money supply of dollars in the world. Okay, as you can see, guys, we have here a big line to the upside. What does this tell us? Okay, so dollar was created in the early 1900s, I think around 1920. So this chart starts from 1959, right? Let's say 1960. So from the beginning till today, there is like $21 trillion in the market. That's the max supply. And look what happened, guys. From 2020, guys, January, till January 2022, in exactly 2 years, guys, they printed over $6 trillion. So in the past 10 years, guys, in the past 100 years, they created $15 trillion, and in the last 5 years, in just 2 years, they just created more than 40%. Can you imagine? So in the past 90 years, they created 15 trillion, and between 2020 and 2022, they created $6 trillion. That's why everything gets expensive in the past 5 years, in the past like after 2022. So what's happening with the money they created? Okay, I'm gonna explain you. Partly, guys, they are investing, they are using the dollars to keep the economy, US stock market alive. This is a chart of the S&P 500. It's the top 500 companies of the stock market in US. And look, guys, in 2020, what happened? We saw a corona crash, right? It went lower. The price dumped with 30%, and that's huge for S&P 500. What happened later, guys? Bang, shoots higher, right? So all the money, not all the money, but a lot of money get into the stock market. Partly, not everything. Let's look to Bitcoin. Let's look to Bitcoin. What happened with Bitcoin, guys? No, man, I need to find Bitcoin, man. This one. Yes. So what happened here, guys? Look, let's look in 2020. Yeah. Look, Bitcoin also dropped with 66%. That was huge. But look what happened after. From 2020 till, let's say, 1 year later, it went higher with 1,400%. That's like X14. A part of the money that was created here from 2020 till 2022, they just use the money to pump up the economy again. And guys, look, if we are zooming out, okay, if we are zooming out, this line is going to continue. Look, he came a little bit lower. They kind of paused it, but look what happened. They are just creating more money and more money. What will do that? So we understand that there's more money in the markets over time, and everything will get expensive, right? So the money we have now, let's say $10,000, will be less valuable. He will, like, later we can, like, let's say over 3 years, we will buy less for $10,000, right? So that's clear, right? So what do we need to do, guys? We need to invest our money. If we don't find a way to grow our capital, we will lose money and we will have less buying power over time, right? Where to invest your money, guys? Where to invest your money? Before, guys, like, I'm now in the financial markets. I'm now active for 8 years as a trader, investor, and in the past years, guys, I get the question, okay, where should we invest our money, right? Where should we invest our money? Look, there are a few different assets with different characters, and we need to understand this. Guys, we have gold. This is like the godfather of everything, okay? Gold, we have Bitcoin, and we have stocks, okay? Look, I'm gonna tell you a few things about the characters of those assets, okay? So, guys, before going to invest our money, we need to understand what gold really is, what Bitcoin is, what S&P 500 is, and what stocks are. So, guys, gold is a physical stone that has real value in this world, and that has a digital value as well, right? It's like it has a price. And guys, if you want to have a fair opinion of me, boys and girls, gold is good to protect your capital, okay? um, in the past 10 years, guys, we are now 2025, right? So look, guys, in the from 2005 till 2025, gold went higher with 700%. So it did 7x, right? So if you invested $10,000 back then, you will have a gain of 700%, and 700% is 7x after 20 years, guys. And you will end up with $70,000. Okay, look, guys, I love gold, but gold is not an asset to invest to grow your capital. Gold is an asset to protect your money from inflation. Look, if you're gonna check, gold is growing every year. Look this to the let's say 2 years. Gold is every year moving by growing with 50-60%. It's not bad, huh? Look, 2007, 2009, 50%. Sometimes it goes higher. Look here, 40, 50, 60% in 2 years. 100%, so it doubled here. It's good, but look, and then gold dropped. It can happen, guys. You can also the market can also go lower, whatever. But if you're gonna take this, and if you're gonna take the average grow over x amount of years, you will end up with 20-30% gain in average. 20 to 30% gain. Okay, so 20-30% gain every year. So, but there's also inflation every year with 20-30%, right? So the amount, so if you're really you're not really making profit, man. You're just protecting your 100k from the inflation. Your 100k after let's say 4 years will become 200k, right? The 100k you had 5 years ago, right? Not even. Let's count 5 years. So he went higher with 120%. Yes. So the amount of money you had with 100k 5 years ago, you can actually buy the same amount of things with the 200k today. So that's not really a like growing asset, man. And the gold, guys, what I notice is that the financial markets are really manipulating gold, man. They are holding gold really low in prices because it's actually linked to the value of dollar. So if gold is going higher, it means that dollar is losing a lot of more value. And if you're gonna ask me, the US don't want that, so they're keeping the price of gold lower. Okay, what's the next? So gold is not really an asset to gain profits. It's good to hold your money from against inflation. Okay, Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin is really making a revolution in the financial markets. Look, in 2024, in here, wait, no, man. Let me go to weeks. Yeah, here, guys, the ETF was accepted by the US in US. So what happened from this moment, guys? Big companies, they had the chance and they could put Bitcoin on their balance and hold Bitcoin as a capital in their company. So what happened? They start investing and buying Bitcoin, and now Bitcoin is kind of part of their portfolio. And before, guys, it was actually a gray area pushed by retail money and big investors. And since here, guys, Bitcoin is they are buying Bitcoin, and it's owned by institutions and also big companies. They are buying Bitcoin and they are holding it. They're also saying it's the digital gold, blah blah blah. The US is also talking about Bitcoin strategic reserve. It means that they want to back the dollar by Bitcoin because the US is really owning US Bitcoin. They are holding Bitcoin. They are the biggest holders of Bitcoin in the world. Okay, whatever. So Bitcoin, guys, is like the digital gold, if you're gonna ask me. And Bitcoin is moving um, more than gold, if you're gonna ask me. Look, we can look to the past chart, but we don't know what's gonna happen in the next years. But if you are gonna look in the past 5 years, look, Bitcoin just went with 850% in the last 5 years. So what gold did in the previous 20 years, Bitcoin did it just in the last 5 years. And I want to tell you one more thing. Look, I want to go to gold, man. Guys, here in 2002 or 2001 was it? Here in 2001, the gold ETF came on the market. So what happened, guys? From that day till today, gold went up with 1,175%. Let's say 12 times more than the investment. Okay, here Bitcoin gold ETF was launched. Guys, look what happened with Bitcoin. 2024. Yeah. Here, guys, Bitcoin ETF came alive. Okay, so this is actually, if you're gonna ask me, a much better investment to grow your capital against inflation, but also against everything else, man. Against dollar, for example. So he just went higher with 160%. He doubled just in 1 year. And look, can you zoom out a little bit? Zoom out a little bit. Let's compare those two prices. So here it was the gold ETF came out over years, and can you imagine then what will happen with gold with Bitcoin over 20 years? So we are not talking about this is 10 years. Let's talk about 20 years. Can you imagine what will happen? What what will happen? Bitcoin will go higher and higher and higher. Whatever. I'm not gonna talk about percentage, but Bitcoin, guys, is really it's like a digital currency, and the world banks institutions starts accepting it. So that's Bitcoin, guys. I want to make one thing clear. Bitcoin is an asset to own and hold. Okay, it's like buying land in 1980, 1960. Okay, also gold was really valuable back then. But Bitcoin is moving higher because the world is changing to digital area, and the world. And guys, there's one more thing. It's maybe the second biggest news about Bitcoin. Um, Last week, the biggest bank in the US, JP Morgan. Look, JP Morgan is the biggest bank. JP Morgan. Announcement about digital currency. They launched their own digital currency, GPMD, so they can use a digital banking system on the blockchain technology. Look, guys, they will use digital currency on the blockchain technology. That means that the financial banking system is starting to take part on the blockchain technology instead of using old banking system. So yeah, guys, that's really a thing, man. Okay, I want to continue now because this video takes longer and longer. So good to own, guys. Gold you need to own, man. Bitcoin you also need to own. Uh, and then we have the S&P 500. Look, the S&P 500 is a group of stocks to that's like top 105 companies, and because the US and a lot of other persons are just putting their money in this basket, over time it will grow and grow and grow and grow. But the percentage, it's okay, but not like Bitcoin or whatever. Okay, so I wouldn't really invest in S&P 500, man, especially because I'm a Muslim. There are also like companies who's supporting alcohol or other things, and that's not with Islamic principles. So I can't invest in S&P 500. Okay, guys, and stocks. At last, I want to talk about stocks because stocks, I like stocks, man, and the reason why is because stocks, when you buy a stock, for example, Nvidia, you're really buying, you're becoming a part of the company. Nvidia is the biggest chips, like they are making chips. Okay, you have also ASML that making chips in the Netherlands, but like Nvidia is creating computers and developing the technology in the computers, and Nvidia is the leader in that space, and I believe in Nvidia. So um, if you really want to become part of a real investment and to do your investment in a company, stock is the best, man. Look, Nvidia is one of those. Tesla, for example, Tesla is also doing great in the world in the car industry, but they are more than a car industry car company. It's also a data company. And if you really want to invest, guys, stocks is the best. Apple. Okay, Apple. Look, if you believe in the brand Apple and the products, you can just buy the shares. Okay, and then later you can make profit. Meta, for example, Microsoft, bro, they are also doing. Look, Microsoft, they just did a 40% gain in 1 month. Look, if look, what people don't know, guys, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, they are digital currencies, and in this world, there's a lot of things happening. Look, Bitcoin went also sideways in just the whole year, for example, or downwards. So instead of just investing in Bitcoin, you can also look to stocks. And it's also the next topic, guys, where I want to talk about. It's about how to grow your capital. Guys, Bitcoin is an asset to own. And if you're going and gold as well. So if you're gonna ask me, guys, the best way to grow your capital is to swing trading, smartly investing in stocks. If Nvidia, guys, if Nvidia is doing well, and let's say, look, Nvidia, you can read everything about the stocks, because it's just registered. Look, earnings and revenue. Nvidia did a 1.2 billion revenue, more than they expected. Earnings, they earned 5% more than the previous one, than reported. So what happens, guys? The company is doing well. So if while the company is doing well and there's like a change in the financial markets, or like a negative news thing happening, what will happen? The whole market is kind of dumping, as you can see. Here was like the DeepSeek ChatGPT issue. What happened? A lot of money was taken out by the in the market. So what happened? In general, the financial market drops. But because Nvidia is a legit stock and a company, investors are ready to buy up the stocks for a lower price. And then look what happened. Bang! It's gaining like 30, 40%, 60%. So, and that's the best way, if you're going to ask me, to grow your capital. Just buy low, sell higher. Buy, buy, sell. The price will lower, buy, and then sell. Every time you can make 20, 30, 40% profit. That's swing trading, guys. Some people, they're just investing and leaving the money, but they are not really making money, man, because they don't take profit. So the best way, if you're gonna ask me, is to invest smartly by swing trading. Okay. So I want to give you an example. If you have 10K, okay, and you are taking every time starting, you are making like 30% profit each time, right? Is 13,000. 13,000 times 1.3 is I think 69. Wait, let me take the calculate so we can calculate it. 13,000 x y 30% is 16,900. Okay, and then 16,900 x 1.3. It's like a compounding effect. It's $21,000. Oh, so guys, in just 1 year, after taking 3 trades investments with a potential gain of 30% with a compounding effect, you can just double your money, and it's easy, guys. I want to show you. Look, I want to show you. Look, guys. So, like, positive news. I'm following the markets daily. I like the markets, so you can follow my analysis and my potential investments based on my analysis, and it's like a few times in a year, so not every day or every week. But look, you could invest here. Okay, you could make like good amount of profits, like let's say 50%. It's also going higher, but let's say 30 to 40%. This is one opportunity. Later the price is dropping, right? This is a nice area to buy. So what happened? You buy here again, you sell it here with again 30 40%. So you already grow your capital from 10K to 15K. And what happened? The price after here is also dropping again. And by knowing the interesting buying areas, you can buy low and sell higher for a higher price again. So you can grow your capital without looking for really really big returns like 2x 3x whatever. No, you can swing trade. This happens with a legit company, guys. Okay, and you can also swing trade Bitcoin, but you don't know what's gonna happen with Bitcoin, man. Look, maybe this is now the top, like here. There's a lot of things happening: war, economic things, geopolitical things. We don't know. Maybe it will drop from here, and then you can buy Bitcoin lower, of course. But this can take really a huge time, man. Like 2 years, 3 years, whatever. He can also go higher, huh? But that's Bitcoin, and that's why investing in stocks is the best way to grow your capital, because you can see numbers. There's a whole team. There's company behind it. Okay, guys. So yeah, man. If you want to grow your capital in the next years, guys, um, where is it, man? I think now it's now clear, right? Oh, okay. Why you need to invest your money, guys? Inflation. They are creating money. Where to invest your money? Look, you can invest in different assets, but if you really want to grow your capital, then stocks is the best, man, and it's halal, completely halal. And if you still want to invest in gold and Bitcoin, you can still invest in Bitcoin after you grow your capital. You can invest 30% in Bitcoin, for example, or 10%. I don't know. Okay, guys. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, guys, comment here. under this video or just send me a message. I will try to help you. If you want to take part of my private investors club, send me a message or click in the link below to have access, man. Thanks for watching, guys. I see you in the next videos. Take care. Peace.